Namo Amida Butsu. Part 4. Relation between name and vow. 1. Amida's compassion and his practical method of salvation are often explained through his vow. What is Amida's vow? The vow, or more exactly the original vow, is the translation of the Sanskrit word Purva Pranidhana and the Japanese word Hongan. Generally, bodhisattvas arouse some vows and bring them to consummation through their sincere, difficult practice to save suffering beings, thus enabling themselves to attain Buddhahood as well. 2. Are all vows the same? There are two kinds, the common and the special vows. 3. What are the common vows? The common vows are so named because these are basic and common to all bodhisattvas and are concretely known by the name of Shiguzaigen, or the four universal vows. 4. What are Amida's special vows? According to the larger sutra, Amida, in his causal rank, made the 48 vows in order to deliver all suffering beings. As these vows particularly represent Amida's compassion, they are called his special vows. However, of these 48 vows, the 18th vow is the most essential and representative vow. Accordingly, in most cases in Shinshu, the term Hongan, or the original vow, is used to designate this main vow. 5. If so, may we understand Amida's special vows to have two meanings? Exactly. The first meaning of Hongan is the causal vow. In this case, it refers to all of the 48 vows. These vows were all effectuated by his practice of myriad periods. In contrast to this effect, each of the 48 vows can be labeled the causal vow. The second meaning of Hongan is the main vow, and it refers only to the 18th vow. The latter meaning is more prevalent in Shinshu. 6. What is the 18th vow? As mentioned before, the 18th vow is the most important vow of Amida's 48 vows. It is in this vow that Amida proclaimed the actual way of birth in his country for the sake of sentient beings. The passage reads as follows, quote, "Upon my attainment of Buddhahood, if the beings of the 10 quarters who have sincere mind, serene faith, and wish to be born in my country with even 10 utterances, would not be born therein, may I not attain the highest enlightenment. Only those are accepted who have committed the 5 deadly sins and who have abused the right Dharma." End quote. 7. What is the main point of this vow? Shinran called this vow the vow of sincere, serene faith. This means that faith is the core of the 18th vow. Besides, according to Shinran, this faith, sincere and serene, comes from Amida's wisdom and compassion, and because of this, this true faith can be the cause for birth in the Pure Land. From this true faith, the utterance of the name spontaneously comes out whenever one feels happy and grateful to Buddha. This utterance of the name, however, is not the condition for birth nor nirvana, but is solely the expression of innermost faith and gratitude. Such a pure, egoless, and easy practice is the Nembutsu vowed in the 18th vow. 8. What is the difference between name and vow? The vow is Amida's desire and resolution to save all beings. In this vow, he selected the name so that sentient beings can wholeheartedly believe in and easily recite it. After his sincere and hard discipline, he brought this vow to perfection, and thus the name became the only and best medium for common mortals to communicate with the Buddha. In other words, the name is the fruition of the vow. After all, the vow refers to the cause, while the name is the effect of the vow. 9. How do we understand the oneness of the name and vow? Because of the reliability of the Buddha, his name, and his vow cannot be separated from each other. The vow refers to Amida's compassionate mind, through which the name was accomplished as the practical and expedient method to save all sentient beings. The name, on the other hand, can be meaningful only when it is recited on the basis of true faith in this vow. Therefore, in Shinshu, to believe in his name is at once to believe in his vow. To listen to the significance of the name is at once to listen to the significance of his merciful vow. After all, either the name or the vow may be mentioned as the object of our listening and faith. 10. Are both the vow and the name necessary for Amida Buddha to save us? Certainly. Without the vow, the name would be empty, and without the name, the vow would be fruitless. For the accomplishment of salvation, the vow and name are a vital necessity on the part of the Saviour, and the faith and the Nembutsu are their reflections on the side of the devotee. 11. It is usually said that Amida's compassion is unlimited and immeasurable. It seems to be so far as we refer to the first sentence of the 18th vow. However, the remaining part of the passage impresses us that he will not save those beings who have committed such evils as the 5 deadly sins or the abuse of right Dharma. Why is it so? Apparently it seems to exclude those grave sins. However, according to Shandao or Zendo, this is not eternal exclusion, but is only the warning which he has given for those who have the potentiality of committing such grave sins. Therefore, when those sins have been actually committed, Amida, far from forsaking them, will save those people without any hesitation. The warning comes from his wisdom, and the universal salvation is due to his compassion. 12. Did Shinran have the same idea too? Yes, he expanded Shantao's theory. He paid special attention to the fact that the exclusion appears only in the 18th vow, and that this vow was primarily for those persons who might easily commit such grave sins. Thus, he stated in his writing, Songo Shinzo Maimon, that this exclusion only shows for what kind of beings the 18th vow was made, and that it paradoxically tells us that even such evil persons, being the very object of Amida's concern, will be saved without fail. After all, this warning shows Amida's unlimited concern for all beings, instead of his real and eternal exclusion of such evil persons. 13. Are there any other important vows beside the 18th vow? The 11th, 12th, 13th, 17th, and 22nd vows are also important ones. The 11th vow is the vow in which those who have faith are assured of unfailing attainment of nirvana. The 12th and 13th vows, respectively, promise the unlimitedness of his light and life. This means that the light and life of anyone who has attained Buddhahood are also unlimited. The 17th vow promises that Amida's name shall be praised and widely proclaimed by all Buddhas. The name is indeed the object of our faith and recitation as taught in the 18th vow. These 5 vows constitute the whole process, from the first listening to the ultimate goal of nirvana. Shinran called them 5 true vows. Lastly, the 22nd vow assures us that we will possess, upon attainment of Buddhahood, powers to benefit all beings. Actually, all these vows are implied in the 18th vow already. Therefore, we can say that the 18th vow alone is the main vow. Namo Amida Butsu.